You look at the matchup between Djokovic and Murray. Novak Djokovic, obviously, apart from being the best player in the world right now, he clearly is. There's no other way around it. He does basically own Andy Murray. Overall, they've met 30 times. Djokovic has won 21 of them, 18 and 7 on the hard courts, which the Australian Open is. Murray really only has the advantage on grass. Djokovic even owns him on clay. I don't go too much into clay court and all that. You look at Andy Murray with this one. The guy is going to turn 29 in May. He only has the two majors. Of course, he did win Wimbledon, which, the accomplishment of that, being the first guy to do it in whatever it was, 76 years, certainly gives him a big feather in the cap, we'll say, for his career. He really doesn't have to do much else, but you would like to see it, especially with the way guys like Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal, who are still winning majors, or have won majors while Andy Murray was up there. I believe Federer beat Murray in 2012 in the Wimbledon finals, so these guys have certainly gone at it. It's been mostly, though, Murray and Djokovic are two of the guys who are closest. They were a little bit behind both Nadal and Federer, who were really at the top of their games just a few years before both of these guys. So, it's going to be tough. Andy Murray has never even reached the finals of the French. I don't know if he'll ever be able to win it to complete the Grand Slam. He would still obviously have to win the Australian as well. He's been to that final 4 times. This will be now his 5th Australian Open final, so he's got to start cashing some of these in. I know it's not going to be easy for him. We talked about how good Djokovic is, but I look at it as Andy Murray, I would say at least 2 more majors. You'd like to see him get to 5, and then he'll never obviously be at the level of the Federers, the Novak Djokovic, the Rafael Nadal. But you look at it, if he can get to 4 or 5, and it starts with the 3rd here, you got to give him a lot of credit because of how well guys like Federer, how well guys like Nadal, how well guys like Djokovic have done. I mean, these are all guys who have 10 plus major titles. Then you look at guys like Stan Wawrinka, who's got 2. You even had the few guys here and there who plugged in a couple. Juan Martín del Potro won in 2009. What was that guy's name? Marin Cilic, I believe is how you pronounce it. He won the U.S. Open a few years ago. Even going back to 2002, 2003, wherever it was, when Andy Murray won his. Now, Andy Murray, obviously, Andy Roddick won his. Now, it's been a lot of time between the two of them, and that was the only one Andy Roddick ever won, but even Andy Roddick was still playing and competing when a guy like Andy Murray was at the top of his game. So, you look at it, if he can come away with a few more, which starts in this one, while you can't put him at the level of these guys, his 5 would be maybe more impressive than some other guys who have only won 5 or maybe even a little more because of the competition he's had in the process. Djokovic isn't going to give him anything. Djokovic, the Australian Open, is certainly his bread and butter tournament. He's won that one the most. He's a 5-time champ there. 3-time Wimbledon, 2-time U.S. Open. So this is really where he's made his living. He has never won the French as well, reached the final a few times, so he'll need that one to complete his Grand Slam. We did a video about Novak Djokovic when he won the U.S. Open. Certainly you have to look at how well what he's accomplished, winning 10 majors in the time of Federer and in the time of Nadal, and even Murray, Wawrinka, and the aforementioned guys who have won a few in the process. So you would like to see Djokovic win the French, complete that Grand Slam. That would be the one thing he's missing on his resume, but he can't win the French Open when he's playing in the Australian Open final. So it's every one he wins is clearly going to add to his legacy. He'll also turn 29 in May, so you don't know how many more of these guys have left. But he's certainly proven himself at the Australian Open. This one is much more important to Andy Murray than I think it is to Novak Djokovic. So I'm not going to make a prediction on it. Frankly, if I were to make a prediction, I would go with my heart, and I'd go with Andy Murray, and I don't think he's going to win. But we just wanted to give that little insight as to what's going on in this tournament, or in this championship. What is on the line for both of these guys, really. It's certainly a lot more riding on it for Andy Murray than it is for Novak Djokovic.